go ahead and get to the anime that we picked to keep up with every week if you want to.
Yeah, yeah. I
Our
might need
man,
help pronouncing words.
we'll see. I'll have to do it from memory because I don't. Uh, our man Don the Van's going to be doing the summary for these two shows. So how you want to start?
Do my best. I'm gonna do my best. All right, so we got the two anime for this week. Gachiakuta,
Gachia,
Gachiakuta.
Gachiakuta. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's how I pronounce it. Gachiakuta.
Okay, Gachiakuta. So that's the first one, and that one's a new one, and then we're gonna be also talking about DonTheVan season 2, which we are gonna talk about season 1, but that's probably gonna be a bonus episode, since it's an entire season in one go. Excuse me. So I guess we're gonna start off with Gachiakuta, which I don't know if anybody knows what the show is about, but since it's the first time we're talking about it, I'll give like an overview of it. So it follows. Oop, my notes are doing crazy stuff. So it follows the main character. His name is Rudo, I think Rudo, and he lives in the slums of a floating town where the poor scrape by under the shadow of the rich who live a sumptuous life, simply casting their garbage off to the side and into the abyss. And one day he's falsely accused of, murder and everything like that, and he gets exiled off the edge of the floating island. And pretty much this show follows what happens to him after that. And so the first episode is pretty much the setup to how he gets off of the island and gets cast out. So, and it pretty much just sets up the world building and like lets you know how everything goes. So basically, it starts off in the city, and you're seeing a girl and her mom. The girl is playing with this. I think it's a rabbit or a bear, a doll, and she ripped it or it's old or something like that. And her mom's like, "Oh, we'll get you a new one," and they just kind of throw it out and everything like that. And this city is like super clean. They don't really have trash everywhere or anywhere at all. They dress like pristine. The city's just white and gold all over the place. There's no dirt, there's no trash, no grime, no nothing. And so when they throw their trash away, it's like in this special place, and it gets shipped off to where they dump it off the side of the floating island. And so our main dude Ruda, he sometimes likes to sneak into the city and pretty much go dumpster diving, for lack of a better term. And so it cuts from the scene with the girl and her mom to like us seeing Ruda dumpster diving and pretty much grabbing that, well, an assortment of trash, and also the messed up bear that the girl threw away. And he gets chased off by their security and everything like that because they don't like people to dumpster dive or anything like that. And he escapes. He got shot in the arm. We will say that. I don't know if that's going to be important later, but he got shot in the arm, and pretty much he gets away. And in the next scene, we see him kind of in the slums, uh, kind of fixing up the trash that he just stole or lifted or liberated, however you want to describe it. And and there's a girl. Her name is Chiwa. I think it's pronounced Chiwa.
Yeah.
You guys know I'm really bad with names, so forgive me. And and they're talking and everything like that. And as they're talking, you can kind of get a hint that Ruda likes Chiwa. But also, as they're talking, these group of other kids kind of come up and start teasing Ruda and making fun of him, and just bullying him. And they pretty much dropped the lore that Ruda's father kind of went crazy a while ago and killed a couple people, or one person. Uh, but it resulted in him getting like exiled and thrown off the pit to his imminent death. And pretty much the people of the slums think that Ruda is like it's passed down to him that he'll probably go crazy and murder everybody also. Well, not everybody, but people. And so, but she was kind of defending him, saying that he's a good guy. He wouldn't do that. He's pretty cool. And but the kids keep teasing him, and Ruda gets like super upset I forget exactly what was said, but he like gets so upset, and, like gives like the kid like a death stare, and the kid's like, see, look, he has murder eyes and everything like that. I was like, yeah, he do look like he about to snap your head off. So, hey, but that was enough for the kids to like to balance and leave him alone. And Chiwa's Chiwa, Chiwa, yeah, whatever. She sees the little um the stuffed animal, bear, rabbit. And I think at this point, Ruta had fixed it. And she was like, oh, this is really cute. Like, can I have it or something? And Ruta was like, nah, you can have anything, but not this one. It's like, this was not for you. And she's like, oh, well, that sucks. And he's like, yeah. And that pretty much ends that scene. And they go to the next one where Ruta is chatting with his like adopted guardian, Regto. Regto.
Recto.
That was a weird one to pronounce for me, but
Yeah.
Regto. And pretty much he's been looking after Rudo since his parents died or disappeared. Because I think his mom just disappeared, but his dad died or got thrown in the pits. And pretty much he's just been looking after him as like a surrogate father type of thing. And so they're just chatting and talking, and Recto kind of gives Ruta some advice on, you know, how to talk to Chiwa and deal with her. And he's like, yo, you just got to be honest and tell her how you feel before it's too late and everything like that. And, you know, be a good person. You know, you know how that talk goes. But after that, we move on to the next scene, and it's kind of Ruta just walking through the slums, and he kind of sees, I guess, an execution. I guess this is a normal thing that happens because like some dude's getting thrown off into the pits, and so I guess they make it like a big ordeal, and he kind of sees it in the distance. And as that's happening, not Ruda, Chiwa appears next to him, and like they start talking about life in the slums and whatnot. And you know, Ruda kind of musters up the courage to let Chiwa have the stuffed animal, rabbit, bear thing. And he's like, yo, you can have it. And like, he's being like really weird about it because obviously he likes her. And like, they have like this little moment where like she gets kind of like flustered and she starts blushing too. And then, yeah, it just, as you know, anime, it doesn't turn into anything, but like they do blush and whatnot. And so she was like, oh, I always knew you were good. And Ruda's like, ha 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 ha, ha. Yeah, always. He's like, enjoy. And then he kind of like walks off. Um, and pretty much, well, he lets her know that he actually picked up the bear. He was like, I saw it and thought of you and I fixed it, so it was always for you, even though I said it wasn't earlier. He did say that. And then he walks off and like he's super excited. He's like, yo, I can't wait to share this experience with Regto. And so like he's off to see the home. He's off to home. And as he gets home and he's walking through the door, he's kind of like daydreaming about like telling him, and like he sees Recto like turn around. He's like, oh, but then reality snaps, and like this masked figure is like literally like sitting on top of Recto with like a sword straight through his torso, and Recto's on the ground convulsing like a well, not really convulsing. He's just on the ground, like just bleeding out. And so pretty much like what's his name? Rudo and the masked figure kind of like exchange eye contact. Although you can't see any facial features of the masked figure, but they're looking at each other. And Rudo's like upset. He's like, "Yo, get off of him!" And like he starts to like rage out a little bit and like rushes him. But obviously his skill level's not there yet, and he gets the wind knocked out of him, and he gets knocked unconscious by the masked figure and gets pushed against the wall. And when he comes to, he pretty much sees like the masked figure is like walking out and pretty much leaves, and he sees Recto on the ground bleeding out, coughing out blood, and like he goes over to talk to him. He's like, yo, stay with me, stay with me. And Recto's like, yo, you got to get out of here, you got to leave, you know, do good in life and all that good stuff. And pretty much Rudo's like, he hears him, but he's not hearing him. He's like, yo, stay with me, stay. And like he's getting his blood all over his clothes and whatnot. Mind you, they're wearing white. Like there's no way to get this out. And so as he's, I think I did miss this. As he was walking home, he passed some of like the guards from like the city, since I guess they were having the ceremony of throwing a dude into the pit. So that's important because now that you know this has happened, Recto's dead and whatnot. I don't know how, but the guards just come to his house and they see him and they're like, "Yo, um, you're caught red-handed. You're under arrest. You're going in the pits, pretty much." and like there's no like investigation, there's no nothing, there's just like, yo, throw him in the pits. And so it kind of literally like fast forward and cuts to them literally stringing him up to throw him in the pits. And he's like, yo, you guys gotta listen to me, it's a masked guy, he came in, he killed them, I would never do this, I wouldn't hurt anybody. And he's looking in the crowd, is anybody gonna help, is anybody listening? And nobody's listening, they're all yelling, throw him in the pits, throw him in the pits, we knew he was a murderer, he's like his dad, he's like his dad. And Chiwa, she happens to be in the crowd, and she has the stuffed animal rabbit bear thing, and she's like, I knew, like I wanted to believe you were good, but you're not, and you're just like how people described you to be. And she drops the bear and walks off and whatnot, and then they throw him in the pit. And like he's like, I'm gonna come back and get my revenge on all of you, as he's falling down into the depths of the abyssal pit. And you would think that's the end, right? You would think he would die, but no, I don't know how he survives, because that's a long drop, it seemed like, and I didn't see anything that could break his fall. I'm not gonna hold you, but he lands on the garbage piles at the bottom, and he's like, I'm not dead, and this is kind of crazy. This doesn't seem like what they said was down here. And at the end, it's just like a giant trash monster that's kind of like going through the trash, and he's like, yo, it's colossal. Like, if you ever played Shadow of the Colossus, the size of this thing is 10x one of the Colossus compared to him. And so pretty much that's where that episode ends, and that's the first episode of whew, I'm gonna get better with pronouncing these names, I promise you. Just don't hold me to that, it's gonna take a while. Gachiakuta, that's the first episode. What you think about it?
I thought it was okay. There wasn't too much going on in the episode. At the beginning, they have a little statement. They're like, everything, or what is it? If you keep something long enough, it ends up getting a soul. And like, what happens to that if you throw it away? Which I'm sure they'll probably get into the next episode. But I thought it was a nice intro to the world. Not too much, especially Rudo. Other than that, I'm not sure how many of these characters we're going to see again. I'm sure a few of them will pop back up, but
Yeah.
Chiwa kind of did my boy dirty, but other than that, not too much else to say about it.
Yeah. Don't save her, man. She don't want to be saved. Yeah, nah. I can't believe she did that, bro. Like, she really defended dude, like, when the bullies came through, and she was like, no, he's a good person, and then immediately switched up. And my boy just gave you, like, he gave you the greatest gift. It's so heartfelt. He found some trash, fixed it up, made it brand new, and gave it to you. And you wanted it too. You're like, oh, that is a great bear. Like, I really love it. He was like, thought of you. You know what I'm saying? This is for you. This is yours.
Yeah.
He's a terrible guy. Throw him off the pits. Yo, what?
Wasn't expecting that turn, but I mean, it is what it is. Interested in seeing how this goes. If it goes more the what is it? What's the one? Not Monster Hunter. With the swordsmith arc.
Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer. If it goes the Demon Slayer route, where I'm not that into the story and I kind of drop off, or if it gets more into the lore and then we get a lot more like lore and story wise. So
yeah, funnily enough, it reminds me of Fire Force in a way.
I haven't seen Fire Force yet. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
It reminds me of that in like a little bit. I mean, like, it's not the most similar thing, but I don't know, something about it giving me Fire Force vibes. So I don't know. We'll see. But that's just, it is also just the first episode, and like not too much as far as like action or pivotal storytelling has like happened quite yet. We just got like little bits and pieces. So we'll see. But all I know is Chiwa better be the first one to go. That's all I'm saying. I don't like her already. I don't like her.
Yeah. But
it's either that, or there has to be like another there has to be another woman, and she got to be badder than Chiwa, and she got to be all over my boy. Yup. Yes. Yes.
We'll see.
I need my boy to have a crazy come up. Yes, but that's Gachiakuta. I like the song. I like the song in the opening.
Did they
It was
play an
decent.
opening song? I didn't remember hearing it.
I thought they did. I might be thinking about DonTheVan actually.
Yeah, DonTheVan played it their opening and ending. We'll get to that, but
It was great. But yeah, or maybe I heard the ending song. I don't know. I'll write it down in the notes next
I think
time.
they did play a song maybe at the end. Sometimes that
Yeah.
might be the opening, but we'll see.
Yeah, they played a song, and I liked the
Yeah.
song. That's all I can say. That's all I can say about it. Oh man, I did because I watched it a couple of days ago, and I forgot to write down about the songs. I just took like a mental note of like I like music, and so I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right, but that's Gachiakuta.